Hello and welcome to another episode of the Blue Blooded Podcast, your favorite college basketball podcast. We have a special guest today, Adam. Have you seen in the studio?
Wait, I'm not the special guest?
No, you're not the special guest.
Oh, no.
This is little Reese girl. We call her name is Reese.
Hi.
She is a new member of the family. She's a 3-month-old, 10-pound puppy.
She looks just like
If
you.
you're not watching. Oh, thanks. She loves water just like me also.
Yes.
She's a little angel. We think she's a Jack Russell and Beagle mix.
She's definitely
We'll
both
see.
of those.
We're doing a DNA test and we'll find out. But yeah, she's an angel, and this is her. She fits in my...
Say hi to the people.
High and tight. If you're watching, high and tight carry with
high
her.
and tight. Say hi to the people, Reese.
Say hi. She's not really a noise person, noise gal, which is a good thing.
That's a good thing.
Sophie loves her. They get along very well.
Sophie is a noise person.
No.
She's like Scratcher.
Yeah. Had to introduce her to the people real fast.
Say hi.
She says hi. Hello. Anyways, new puppy in the house. We have 2 puppies now, Sophie and Reese. I'm going to go deliver her back upstairs.
Wait, Reese, do you have a Big Ten team?
Not yet, she said.
Is there any dogs? I don't think so.
Can't think of one. Nope.
Nope.
But anyways, this is Reese, so BRB.
Bye, Reese.
Okay, that was my little angel Reese girl. Had to introduce her to the people. Now on to the ball talk, to the basketball. College basketball, very close. We're on with the conference previews. We're on to the Big Ten. I'd say this is probably your favorite episode today, right?
I had to do almost zero prep for this one.
Yeah, the bigger conferences, I've noticed that. Like, I think I know I'm a sicko. I know a lot of the smaller conferences, but the Big Ten, I'm like, I know everybody on this team and this team and this team. Like,
It was a good refresher to look at a couple things.
Yeah.
Learn like injury stuff, some guys who are out and stuff like that. But other than that, yeah, this is gonna be fun. I mean, another fun year in the Big Ten.
Another shit show in the Big Ten, like always. That's exactly what it is.
That's pretty much what it is.
All right, let's get on. Before we get into the Big Ten stuff, let's get into news and notes, and then we will do the home court advantage of the week. Okay, on to news and notes. We have a pretty stacked up news and notes today. First off, let's start off with a happy one. We got Reese out of the way. KenPom Day was this morning,
Yes.
as we're recording.
What a day.
On Sunday, October 12th. It's a holiday in the college basketball world because I think my good buddy Cole Adams said it best, only college basketball sickos would make a holiday out of an analytical ranking, preseason ranking drop day or something like that.
I love that he just dropped it with no notice.
I mean,
Like nobody knew it was coming out today.
Ken Pomeroy is a weird guy. I'll say it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He does curling rankings on his website. Did you know that?
No, but I'm interested to hear how we stack up as the United States.
World's curling men's top 100 as of 10/6/25.
What are the U.S. ranked?
He updated this last week. It's player by player.
Okay.
So Bruce Muat from Scotland is the best player in the world apparently in curling.
Good for Bruce.
So
He's a sicko, Ken. I guess that kind of like Torvik's been out for a while. Evan Mee is done. Now KenPom. This is kind of like the trifecta of college basketball analytics.
yeah, I guess so. So
He's the leader of the pack.
I don't want to get into it too much. It's a great day to have it. Everyone can nitpick here and there. I guess the one thing is the coaches ranking.
Yes.
KenPom now has coaches top 20 or for everybody, but he has coaching quality or coaching performance built into the model to kind of spit out a number. And I think people were overreacting when they saw the list of the top 25 because they were saying, oh, like Kyle Smith at Stanford is at 7 and Mark Few is at 8 and Matt Painter is at like 13. That's not saying that Kyle Smith's a better coach than those two guys. That's obviously not what he's saying. I think he's just saying based on analytical expectation, these coaches tend to outperform whatever they were expected to at a more consistent basis. So people are like, where's Todd Golden? Like, well, he had 1 year to go off of. Like, that's not that
when
simple.
you say people were exaggerating and overreacting, are you talking about yourself? Because you were not happy with some of those inclusions.
Yeah, until I fully comprehended it and
Okay.
understood it.
Okay.
I'm not a genius. I don't understand everything.
I'm with it. One thing I also like about KenPom, but also like is funny, is he always says like these rankings very rarely are right preseason. He mentions that the intake of data and algorithm, but
It's
I think
impossible.
I know, but I think Torvik's is almost more predictive. KenPom is not supposed to be predictive.
I don't know about that.
It's not at the beginning of the season.
At the beginning of the season, to be
Right.
fair, I see what you're saying, but
Yeah.
to be fair, I don't think anybody can have good predictive metrics.
That's fine. But he's very vocal about like take these with what they are. They will be very different.
And I'll say about Evan Maikawa, I know he puts his little personal twist on it. I know that. It's not just specifically numbers. You can look at his rankings and see teams that aren't analytical darling teams are towards the top a little bit more than other sites. And I think That's the difference. What
I love that all
does.
3 of them do something different.
Yeah, love it. But KenPom Day. Let's get the one sad thing out of the day. I'm wearing the shirt today again.
Put the laptop down.
Yeah, they can see me. It's a Sister Jean shirt. Sister Jean passed away last week at 106 years old. We just talked about her recently on the A10 episode when she retired. You can do the math, I guess, on maybe why she retired, but that's very depressing to hear. She lived an incredible life, 106 years old, to see so much in society. Can only imagine how wise she was.
Very, very wise. I saw a lot of videos of her from the Loyola run.
Oh.
And she's always smiling, always happy, always willing to take a picture. I mean,
every single person that walked up to her was like huge grins, love to see her.
Everybody
she wasn't,
loves her.
And genuinely, she wasn't just a March Madness legend. Of course she is, but like she on that campus and that school in the area, she was everything to people. Like she's this massive religious figure that people relied on.
She was the team chaplain, by the way, is her official role.
And they relied on her for faith before
I'd also like to edit my conference rankings and put them at 1.
Me too. Oh, they're playing for her this year?
They're playing for her?
They better wear a patch on the jersey. I'm going to text Coach Valentine.
Her cute little face on the...
That'd be great. I'm going to text him and be like, yo, you got to put her something on the jersey this year.
Anyway,
that'd be awesome.
Sister Jean.
R.I.P. Sister Jean. We love you very much. Last thing I'll get into is the secret scrimmages. The not-so-secret scrimmages have begun in college basketball, and I love it. It means that gameplay is back. There are actually fans are going to some of the games that are quote-unquote secret. You will have exhibition games and like formal ticket selling exhibition games soon. But I want to go over the results that I found at least.
By the way, Twitter during the secret scrimmages is
hilarious.
The best. Like John Rothstein's mantle of wedding pictures watching UC Irvine, Arizona State is like what college basketball Twitter is all about.
You were tapped in. You watched. You know like the depth of games then.
Green Bay played. Oh yeah.
Well, yeah, that's another one. But all right, I got 5 scores and then a 6th one that I don't know the score of.
Okay.
Baylor beat GCU in a very tight one.
Close game.
That's the Drew family. They always play
the Drew Bowl.
And
that was at Grand Canyon.
At Baylor.
Oh, okay.
Or maybe I think it was at Baylor.
Okay.
They would have packed the arena.
That's
if
my
it was
mistake.
GCU.
That's my
It was
mistake.
Baylor, I think. They always play Baylor. Baylor shot the lights out. Tunde Yusufu apparently was really good. I think GCU is going to be very good, and I take that more away than anything else. I feel like I might have been underrating Baylor a little bit coming in, but if they are, like I know they're
underrate Baylor.
Shocker.
I love Baylor.
I know they're going to be good no matter what in some capacity. So I think this says more about GCU being ready with their new guys.
I will say, by the way, as someone who's seen a secret scrimmage before, it's very rarely just like a half and a half. They break it up for quarters and they do different stoppages and
I know as a fact, we were at NC State last week. We heard Will Wade like on the phone with people and stuff. Like it's not an unknown thing, a secret that the coaches don't run all their sets or the sets they're running in games. They sometimes they'll pick out, hey, let's go into. We're going to run 5 certain sets and you run 5. We give each other the 5 so we can scout and then we go from there. Sometimes they do game situations. They're like, hey, let's put, when 5 minutes go on the clock, let's put the starters back in and let's act like it's 0-0 or something
Actually,
like that.
Really quick, I know we want to move on. Do you want to get the rest of the scores? The most interesting thing that I heard Coach Wade say when he was talking about the secret scrimmage coming up from NC State is that the coaching staffs actually send each other film,
right? So
that the coaches can prepare like it's a real game too. I guess it makes sense. I just never thought about it before.
Just as important, if not more important, for the coaching.
Yeah, okay,
I'll get all the rest of them. Drake beat Wichita State 69-62, but they played a weird schematic. They played a weird setup that I don't think it was a real game. But Drake over Wichita State. Bradley beat GB. Bradley beat Green Bay 83-78. They were kicking their booty earlier on. Don't know. I didn't watch any of the second half of it, so I don't know if they might have slipped players in.
Did you see that Green Bay is moving all but 3 of their games to the smaller on-campus arena?
Love that.
Great move.
See that.
It's a great move.
And they're going to sell out higher percentages.
It's a great move.
Smart, Doug.
Yes.
Good job, Doug. I like that one. Virginia Tech Seton Hall. I don't know the score of that one. The only thing I know is the Virginia Tech players were asked in public by someone if they won, and they smiled and laughed. Don't know if that means good or bad.
You had some scorching hot Virginia Tech takes last week.
Got some people at Seton Hall. Hope they didn't lose to Seton Hall. That'd be bad. Last one, and the biggest one I saved for last, St. Louis over Iowa, 99-74. That's crazy.
That doesn't sound good.
That doesn't sound good for Iowa. It sounds great for the St. Louis offense.
Yeah.
Again, if you think Iowa is a top 5 team in the Big Ten, don't go off that because of this game.
You got to take these with a grain of salt.
I'm just sharing the scores. Don't shoot the messenger.
99. Hey, you didn't mention Arizona State, UC Irvine.
I didn't mention that. We brought it up. UC Irvine over Arizona State 72-68.
Oh, they won.
Yes, they did at home.
Go Anteaters.
One of their guys had like 27 and 11.
That's wow.
ASU might be moving on soon. All right. That is going to do it for news and notes around the country, around the nation. Let's go on to the home court advantage. Okay, home court advantage of the week brought to you by Home Field, the best college apparel business in the game. Now, I don't know if you watched the Oklahoma State football game this past weekend. Did you see it at all?
I didn't see the game itself.
I think you know what I'm about to talk about.
I do.
Oklahoma State is getting their ass kicked by Houston. They lost 39-17, I think it was. But little did they know, in an upper bowl that was empty for the game, Section 231 apparently potentially broke a world record of most shirtless men in a section of a football stadium at the same time. And
Sure.
They probably beat it because the seats were filled all the way up there. So basically what happened was Oklahoma State football was getting their ass kicked at home against Houston. One guy goes up there to a random section up top by himself.
By the way, his name is on Twitter somewhere if you want to go find it.
All right, we'll find
Shout
it.
out to that guy.
Can you try to find him while I explain it?
Yes, please go.
He goes up there. There's no one in the upper bowl. Sits in section 231 with his shirt off. All of a sudden, a couple minutes later, another guy comes over. I don't know if they were friends or strangers. Don't know anything about that. Another guy comes over, takes his shirt off, sits with him in 231. They start getting excited. All of a sudden, over the course of minutes, like they amassed like a couple of hundred shirtless college men that I didn't expect to see on television this weekend.
By the way, I promise you, based on some of the pictures, those are not all college men.
Okay. I saw it from afar for the most part. Didn't see it up close.
Yeah.
But true. Fathers with children at that game probably said, honey, watch the kids. I'm going up to section 231.
By the way, I have
Me
his
and the
name.
boys.
It is the legend himself, Trent Eaton.
Trent Eaton, he started it?
He started it.
Trent Eaton, shout out him because all of a sudden, Oklahoma State, while they're getting their ass kicked on the field, first of all, imagine if you were a football player and you're like, what is going on up there? And you're trying to win a football game.
By the way, I didn't realize that during the game, the Oklahoma State Jumbotron
put
put
up.
up new world record, probably most shirtless guys in this section. That's great.
So shout out to, what's his name? Trent Eaton?
Trent Eaton.
Trent Eaton with his buddies or strangers that he met and made friends for life in section 231.
That's what college sports is about.
At Oklahoma State. So shout out to them. They definitely get the home court advantage. Even though they had no advantage, they got their ass kicked. So. Okay, onwards with our episode. The Big Ten Conference preview, the one that you're most excited for. I would say the Big Ten has the highest concentration of my audience if I had to just spitball it out there.
They're just a diehard college athletics conference.
And especially basketball. Because like Big Ten has good football, obviously, but like the SEC is, to me, I grew up SEC's football. Big Ten, Big East basketball.
Yeah,
ACC.
I mean, look, this is not a dig at Wisconsin and Iowa and Nebraska, but like outside of Michigan, Ohio State, and Penn State, everybody cares a lot.
What do you mean, Indiana?
Don't even get me started. They're so good.
Do you think they're going to win a basketball national championship first or a football one?
At this rate, how can you answer anything but football? They're going to make the playoff this year.
Anyways, you're all right. It's a lot of basketball centric areas too in the country. Because they're not in the South. That's really the answer. That's why. So, anyways, Big Ten Conference preview. What are your overall thoughts on the Big Ten this year? Just a generic statement before we get into power rankings.
I feel like we could probably just copy paste this every year, but like it's going to be really deep because teams, I don't know, 6 through 14 could be anywhere in between 6 and 14. That said, they have the undoubted, undisputed, probably title contender on day one.
Not the sole one.
Fine, not undisputed, but
one of the three that are every single top three I see for the most part. Some order of Houston and Purdue and probably Florida.
And the Big Ten has just had problems winning titles. Actually, I have a question for you.
Oh boy.
I'm going to start with this statement and then I'll ask the question.
Statement.
Michigan State won a title in 2000.
Yes, they did.
Maryland won a title in 2002.
The answer is Michigan State.
My question to you is going to be, in your mind, who's the last Big Ten team to win a championship?
Absolutely Michigan State. That was not what I thought you were going to say.
Okay.
But the answer is absolutely Michigan State.
Okay.
They were in the ACC. They might not have won if they were in the Big Ten at the time. Maryland.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't.
I know you don't care. I just saying.
Like bringing up that Maryland is the last team to win out of all those.
Okay. Well, you didn't have to force Maryland into the conversation today because they're in the conference for now. Okay. I'll give my bold take actually in the beginning.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
The NCAA, the Big Ten has never had more than 8 teams in the tournament, which feels kind of right because before last year with the SEC, there had never been one that touched the Big East in, I forget what year it was, with the UConn, whatever.
UConn.
They had 11 bids.
UConn Pitt.
Yeah, they had 11 bids. And
wow.
a lot of them, there have been like a couple of 9s, but a lot of 8s and 7s, and the Big Ten is always in that range. I think this year the Big Ten is going to smash that record of their own personal record. 9 seems easy.
You think they get 10 plus?
Yeah, I think 100%. That's going to be the bold take. I think the Big Ten gets 10 plus tournament bids this year. So
I like it. Again, I think that kind of goes back to the middle is, you said it earlier, like they're kind of just going to beat the shit out of each other.
It's so annoying.
And yeah, but that's just how it's going to go. And
that's Big Ten basketball.
That's Big Ten basketball, baby.
Okay, let's get into the goods. We're going to do power rankings and then all conference teams and awards and then Q&A. We'll be out of here. But
Sounds
there's
good.
18 teams, so it might take 3 hours.
Yeah. Well, Ryan, we're going to let you drive for the big conferences. I'll kind of interject here and there, but you won't get a full maybe I'll release it online, but you won't get a full rankings from me here.
Okay. Maybe you should release it on Twitter for sure.
Okay.
Let me drive. Again, I'm getting in the driver's seat. All right. Power rankings. You mentioned them. Let's start at the top. I have Purdue as my number 1 team in the Big Ten. Are you surprised?
No.
I do. There are people out there. I think it's kind of silly people that say, like, why is Purdue so high just because they return all these pieces? Like, they can't even win with Zach Edey.
Oh, yeah. They only returned 2 All-Americans.
Let me explain to you why Purdue is going to be so good this year, okay? Yeah, exactly. No, he wasn't an All-American, TKR.
Well, he should have been.
He should have been All-American, and he will be this year for sure. So, last year, they go to the Sweet 16. They were a 4 seed or a 5. I think they were a 5 seed or 4 seed because they had to beat McNeese after McNeese beat Clemson. They were a 4 seed last year in the Sweet 16. They returned 70% of the minutes they had last year, including their big 3, the big trio, Braden Smith, Trey Kaufman, Ren, a.k.a. TKR, and Fletcher Lawyer. Like, that alone, those 3 guys coming back, and then being Purdue with Nat Painter, who's a fantastic schematic coach, that would already put them in the conversation for top 10 in the country. But they returned 70% of the minutes, so they're returning other guys. First of all, Daniel Jacobson doesn't even really count as like a roster continuity piece like he kind of does. He only played 2 games last year.
He counts because he meets the Purdue minimum threshold to have a 7-footer on the team.
Oh, well, then 100% they're returning then.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying.
Right. But Daniel Jacobson missed basically the entire season last year. He's technically going to be a redshirted freshman. He's awesome. He is like a 7'4" center, big, white, lanky center who's going to be very good. But he's not even going to start for them, which is crazy because on top of Braden Smith, TKR, Fletcher Lawyer, they returned Jakari Harris and CJ Cox, who both have big breakout potential that people were kind of talking about. I've been on CJ Cox. Jakari Harris has been getting the internal love. And then on top of that, they made the additions. Oscar Clough, the big demon, Tasmanian devil out of South Dakota State. Like, just a double-double machine. He can play, make, and spread it out and shoot it a little bit. He's got this big beard. He's husky. He looks like a lumberjack, basically.
Is Clough and TKR the best front court in the country?
As a duo, probably. But as a group, I might take the Florida group with the depth of 3 or 4 guys they have. But Purdue is, if not best front court in the country, he's second best front court in the country because you have TKR and Oscar Clough, who on most teams would play as the lone 5 in college. Same with Daniel Jacobson, who's going to come off the bench. So I think those 3 are awesome. On top of that, Liam Murphy from UNF, absolute sniper on the wing. Not like they needed any more shooting. Omer Meyer, their Israeli Carson Edwards. Again, not like they needed any more shooting, but here they come. And Antoine West, a pretty underrated 4-star in my opinion, who wraps up the rotation pretty well. That's 9 or 10 men in the rotation I just named. Like, they could beat any team on any given night, no matter what, easily. Every single game.
Look, in an 18-team, 20-game Big Ten conference, it's very, very, very unlikely anybody will go undefeated in the near future. They got the best chance of doing it as anyone has yet.
Yeah, and like if some of these other teams don't live up to their expectations, there could be a big quality gap. But they will lose because it's the Big Ten. Yeah. They will lose to Northwestern inevitably.
It's not just top-end depth. Like they have based on like groups of 3 and 4, they have the best 3 and 4
Their second
in the
unit's
country.
going to be fantastic.
That's what I was going to say is they're deep too.
And Matt Painter's an awesome coach. He doesn't get enough credit and love beyond the nerds and sickos.
And by the way, as if it wasn't hard enough to play in Mackey on like a common year.
I'm going this year. I'm excited.
I know you're really excited. I'm not going to make it, which I'm bummed about, but
okay.
that place is
Gonna go crazy.
Is going to be amazing.
Last thing I'll say, Matt Painter was asked if this is his best chance to win a national champ. He was asked if this team was his best chance to win a national championship with, and he laughed. And he said, obviously, yes.
Yes. Okay. Well, at least he admits it.
But going into a season with Zach Edey after he won Player of the Year, like you wouldn't think that. Hey, in hindsight, even if like going into this year, you could say, well, maybe that was a little easier. He just instinctively laughed. Didn't even think about it.
By the way, Matt Painter also the coach who looks most like his school's mascot.
Yeah, he really does look like him, huh?
Yeah. Flash the picture here.
Purdue Pete, they call him, right?
Yeah, Purdue Pete.
Is that it? I almost said
got
Pistol
it.
Pete.
Matt Painter, Purdue Pete.
Yeah, interesting.
Just saying.
You think that's a chemistry thing? Good thing. Good chemistry.
I was about to make a Kevin Willard joke about looking like a turtle.
Well, that's not. No, this one's real. Let's go on to the next one.
Yes.
Number 2 in the conference. I was between 2 teams here for the most part. I went with Michigan as my number 2 team in the conference. The roster I like, and I'll go through in a second. I like the roster a lot, especially in the front court. They have talent. I have some questions like I did last year. But again, like last year, like Dusty may prove. I think Dusty may prove the 1 year in a power conference he is as elite as we expect him to be coming out of FAU after those couple of years of really good teams there. I love him. I think he's maybe arguably a top 5 schematic coach in the entire country. I think he's brilliant at playing his team style and their system, building the system around the roster strengths. I think he's great. And I think he's super modern and kind of adaptable.
Talk Yaxel to me.
Yeah.
I mean, this is where we're going, right? So
yes. Yaxel Lendeborg is my dog right there. UAB, absolute demon. When you go into the transfer portal and you get a number 1 option, like a true alpha number 1 option that would be that on basically every team in the country, that's immediate. You're probably going, and you're a power conference team like them, you're immediately a ranked team.
Yeah.
Like it's that simple, and he's an All-American. Like that's for sure.
I was going to ask, is there a shot that the Big Ten gets like 3 first-team All-Americans?
I was going to say, I think when we get to it later, my entire first-team All-Conference, the 5 players, are probably all top 10 players in the country.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Yeah, they're stacked.
It's insane. But Michigan, Yaxel Lendeborg, he does everything. He's like a big forward. He can play literally 1 through 5 on the college level. He can play make. He can shoot and create and score. He's strong. He's an amazing defender. Like I've never seen a guy fill a stat sheet in every single way like him. Very, very rarely do you see that. I'll stay in the front court. Morris Johnson from Illinois.
Yep.
He looked really good for Team USA, the FIBA U19s this summer. He's young. He's going to be a sophomore. I like him. He's sturdy. He's a good defender. I don't think he's this prolific player that some people are after him about, but I definitely like him.
He might be offensively.
I think defensively he's good. He's just as good too.
Okay.
And then Ademara, also from within the Big Ten, which I think is a huge piece.
I was gonna say I love that May did that. Is bring in pieces, not just Yaxel's, but bring in high talent from Big Ten schools.
Yeah,
Is a
I mean
huge
the
deal.
transition has to be easier. And Ademara is he's like 7. He feels like he's 9 feet tall. He's like Wemby size. He's lanky. He's like from Spain. He's all over the place. I loved him coming out of Spain and going to UCLA.
Yeah.
It hasn't fully worked out at UCLA, but there have been last year he had a lot of flashes. He has never gotten the consistent PT in my opinion. I don't know if health is a concern at all, but
by the way, Roddy Gale, I know it wasn't this year, but plucked from Ohio State 2 years ago.
The Big Ten.
Yeah.
We'll get on to the guards. So you got Yaxel, Morris Johnson, Ademar on the front court. Elliot Cadeau is the big name one with Roddy Gale, obviously, former Big Ten player as well. Elliot Cadeau, great playmaker. I like his game. He's a good defender. He has this tenacity and aggression to him. He has had shooting struggles, even though his efficiency was a lot better last year, to a point where teams let him shoot the ball. That will be a concern for Michigan, and I don't love that, but he's a very good playmaker. Roddy Gale, kind of a little bit of a combo guard, again, from the Big Ten originally. They do return 3 players, Namari Burnett, Will Shetter, who we saw a lot of last year, and then LJ Kaysen, who people were kind of expecting a big breakout from within Big Blue Nation over there. Or that's not right.
Uh-oh.
They're Big Blue, though. They're called Big Blue, right?
You are on.
That was crazy.
You are on Big Blue Nation shit list always.
No, they like me now. It's okay.
I don't know.
Anyways,
after this, they may not again.
They're the Big Blue, I think, whatever they are. Wolverine Nation.
Yeah, there you go.
Wolverine Nation. Then they got 2 freshmen coming in, Trey McKinney and Winters Grady.
I wouldn't just skim over Trey McKinney,
I'm
just
not.
to be clear.
He's going to be one of the best freshmen in the conference. Yeah. And their team is, I like the depth of the team a lot. I like defensively, they're going to be great. They're going to have so much versatility in the front court, playmaking everywhere. My concern for sure is shooting. That's one concern.
Yeah.
They don't have a lot of it. They're going to have to rely on the freshman if Trey McKinney's shot kind of develops more and if Winters Grady is going to play a lot. Yep. Namari Burnett can shoot it. Will Shedder on and off. Like I don't see enough shooting on the roster, especially in the front court. Like if Yaxel, he's not going to be like a 40% 3-point shooter. It's not going to happen. So that worries me a little bit. And then also just last year, I see a similar roster build to last year with the 2 or 3 bigs at a time and being very tough to play against, and kind of you're going to out-rebound teams. You're going to play very open, freely offensively. It was exploitable last year. The turnovers were an issue. They almost lost to UC San Diego because of it in the tournament. And they consistently had very bad losses throughout the year. Not consistently, but way too often for me to be like, wow, like I think they can win a national title this year. They're teetering that line.
I think with the tempo they play and that May likes to play, you're going to get sloppiness. We're going to find out pretty quick about them. I will. Their first couple games their first couple games are nothing to write home about. But once they hit Vegas for Players Era, in like a 5-game span, they get San Diego State, Auburn, the 3rd game in Vegas, and then they get Villanova 2 games later.
Wow, it's a good bunch. Super different
and that's
too.
all smack in the middle of November, December. They have Rutgers thrown in there, Maryland after, and they hit a couple. And by the way, they play McNeese, which is a fun game.
Hell yeah, that's fun. I like the roster they put together. I think they'll be good. I think they'll transition and be good right away.
Yeah.
Just a matter of how good can they be.
I mentioned this, I think, on like one of our first podcasts that we did. One of my hot takes this year was that I also, by the way, think Purdue is the best team in the conference and will win the Big Ten. Mm-hmm. My hot take is that they will not be the last Big Ten team in the NCAA tournament. Mm. And one of the reasons for that is because I think Michigan's ceiling, if they can put it all together, is so unbelievably high.
Yeah, I hear you. You're saying it's just as high as Purdue's if things go well.
And in a bracket format where the ceiling is sometimes all that matters, I could see Michigan going very far.
If they are turning the ball over at anything more than nation average, they will not have a chance to go to the Final Four. That's a recipe for success in college basketball in March.
Yep.
Don't turn the ball over, force turnovers from the other team. I'm not going to get heated about that.
Okay. So you said you had another team you were thinking about it too. I assume they landed at 3.
I considered UCLA at number 2. At first, I went back and I was like, I think they're going to be 5 or 6. And then I thought about it more. First of all, like I said about Yaxel, Michigan, Donovan Dent is one of the best players in the country. Going out in the transfer portal and getting a guy like that is we won't be able to find that for 3 more years.
When I asked a question about 3 first-team All-American,
absolutely,
it was because I had Yaxel and Donovan Dent in mind.
He's unbelievable.
Yeah.
He's so good. He doesn't get enough credit. He's a little smaller, but he is aggressive. He's a good defender. He picks pockets. He's an unbelievable shot creator and shot maker, and his playmaking is one of the greatest things I've ever seen. He's one of the best playmaking guards in the country, right up there with Braden Smith. He's that good, and he's super, super fast. I love fast players.
Yeah,
think of like a little De'Aaron Fox, a little smaller.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what he is. He gets up. He's aggressive. He's athletic. Nick Clifford, recent draft pick to the Sacramento Kings, who played at Colorado State, told me where was I with him? At the draft, we were doing the day before the draft. We were just like hanging out somewhere. He told me that Donovan Dent's one of the best players he's ever played against. And when he thought about Donovan Dent after he said Jaime Jaquez, he's like, oh, Donovan Dent, he's crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Like he's so like adamant about that.
He's a nightmare to have to.
He's unbelievable.
Man-to-man matchup on the floor.
I think he's going to be great in the Big Ten.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. I think he's fantastic. He's the big one for sure. Sky Clark was very good last year. I actually think he's underrated and in for a breakout this year.
You're not the only one. The expectation level on Sky Clark is like kind of approaching the point that I don't know that he can actually meet those expectations.
That's okay because he had those expectations years ago. He's been bouncing around.
Illinois,
I think he's transferred twice. This is his 3rd school, but he's actually staying here another year. That says a lot.
Yep.
Eric Daly Jr. on the wing. Love him. The ultimate Swiss Army knife. He's big. He has played one guard for them at times. He's a good defender. He is so well-rounded, a well-rounded piece to be like the finishing puzzle piece to their starting lineup. He was that last year, and he was very good. He'll be very good again. Tyler Bilodeau was their best player last year, their leading scorer. Anytime you can return your leading scorer, I think that's a good thing. Even though he only scored like 13 or 14 a game, he obviously won't be the best player on the team this year, but having a 1-2 punch offensively will help them tremendously because defensively they were great last year. Offensively, they were not. So the 3 returners I mentioned after Donovan Dent, 3 of their 4 best players from last year. Already great, and they were a 7 seed in the tournament last season. So already, it's like the Purdue thing where like at a different level, if you return 3 of your 4 best players, you were a 7 seed last year, hopefully you're going to be better than that.
Yeah. I think this is probably where you're going next, but are you worried about their front court at all? But they do also, by the way, speaking of internal Big Ten transfers, they have
Xavier
Booker.
Booker.
Yeah, Booker coming from, and he's probably their 5.
So yes and no. I'll kind of explain. I'll try to do it briefly. Xavier Booker is going to be their 5, which I don't love. Coming from Michigan State, super talented coming out of high school. He has not fully put it together.
Physical.
Yeah, he hasn't been able to. Like Jackson Kohler is good at Michigan State. Carson Cooper got his minutes. Who else did he go against? I forget.
Talking about Michigan State.
Yeah, they had another big at one point, but the last couple of years. But anyway, he hasn't been able to fully take over a 5 spot there. And now he has to be the guy here at UCLA for a team that relies so heavily on defense. I get worried a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, this is Mick Cronin to a T. I think they were actually KenPom came out, so I could probably look.
They're high.
345th in adjusted tempo last year.
It's
but it's going to be every year with them.
And that's not intentional, I don't think. I mean, it is at some point, but
Donovan Dent will automatically increase that tempo. I just want to make that
New Mexico
clear.
played wildly fast.
He's just too good he's too good and too fast of a basketball player.
Does that worry you that Mick Cronin's like, we are going to play a slower style, and Donovan Dent won't? Like Donovan Dent, the number 1 player in transition points last year. I know that for a fact.
I think that as long as this is not a Mick Cronin thing, but like as long as coaches are willing to adapt their style to their personnel somewhat, I don't have a problem with it. But Mick Cronin's made a living, and like Mick Cronin's a really good basketball coach.
Yeah, and he is good. They have Trent Perry coming off the bench also, I do want to mention, and Jamar Brown, who like 17 points a game at, I think it was UMKC, 40% from 3, absolute sniper. Beyond that, it's a lot of deep bench guys, so the depth isn't like amazing in the guard backcourt it is. The front court is an issue. That being said, they didn't have size last year either, outside of Ademara, who was 7'3", to be fair, but he didn't play like a tremendous amount of minutes last year in this massive role, and they still have one of the better defenses in the conference and country. So like, if they can have even better guard play, they have a similar front court just without the 7'3" guy, which again sounds like it's something major.
This is where the system thing I think is fine.
They can play undersized a little bit.
I think
is what I'm trying to say.
Going back to your question before, no, I'm not that worried about it.
Yeah, I was worried at first when I went through their team and thought about Mick Cronin. I was like, wow, this team's going to finish worse than people expect. Donovan Dent doesn't do enough for me. Then I thought about, like, okay, I love him. I love the additions. They don't need bigs.
Nope.
They don't need big bigs. So they're number 3 team in the conference. So
great, love it.
You want to guess who number 4 is?
Illinois.
The ball can block at number 4.
I figured that. I in my mind, there's like a top 5 and then a little bit of a drop off. So
I see a 6. But we'll get there.
We'll get there.
Illinois is going to be good. Illinois is a weird team. Like they won't be great defensively again this year, which was again their downfall, especially in the front court last year, especially when Tomislav wasn't healthy. But they like offensively they look so good sometimes, and then last year they would look in games where they lose by 25, and I'm like, well, that wasn't surprising. They looked 10 times worse.
I'm fascinated. I mean, who isn't fascinated by this team?
Yeah, although I don't know. Is someone waiting for eligibility? It might be waiting for eligibility, but I forget.
Stojakovic is hurt.
No, not Andre. I don't know if it's Mijala Petrovic or David Mikovic.
This is going to be the problem with this team. You can't keep up with which Eastern European is waiting for.
I'll make it easier. Their point guard, Kylan Boswell.
Yeah.
Kylan Boswellovich.
Yeah.
There you go.
He may have to change his name.
He's their like vet returner. He's an awesome playmaker, very good defender. Mijala Petrovic, unbelievable playmaker. I don't know if you've seen him play. Having them two is like
I've seen his stuff.
Maybe the best playmaking backcourt duo in the country. If I think Mijalo I hope he has eligibility. Andre Stojakovic, you mentioned injury, but him on the wing, all things are okay. Love that.
I heard it. I was listening to an interview actually on the way here with Underwood and Gary Parrish, and they asked about Andre's injury, and he said they're going to try to get him involved at some point in the preseason, but it looks like he's going to miss at least a couple weeks of the season.
Dude, it's like fantasy football. Stars don't practice on Wednesday. Exactly.
Yeah, but his concern is that they have so many of these Euro guys that have just literally not played together.
Yeah, it's a fair concern. So earlier on they might struggle. But Kylan Boswell, Mijala Petrovic, Andre Stojakovic, both Tomislav Ivicic and Zvonimir Ivicic's brother coming over now after Tomislav was already here. David Mirkovic, another big. Ben Hummerkaus, who's already there, who I like, who can shoot the ball at the 4 spot. And then they have mostly freshmen to fill in the rotation. Like when they put it together, the craft, the versatility, it's gonna be so beautiful to watch their offense when things go well. Again, defensively, I have concerns. In the front court, I have concerns because Tomislav Ivicic isn't like this amazing anchor 5 to be able to do it all by himself. He's good and he'll get better.
I do think he may have been the biggest miss from the from the coaches and AP polls.
All conference team?
Yeah, from the all conference team. It was like a
Preseason,
notable scratch.
Yeah, and I know there's a lot of teams, a lot of good players, but he's going to be really good this year. I know they have other guys to play, but again, defensively, I fear a little bit. Are the European guys going to be able to defend at the same level they need to? Because they tend to not sometimes. And if Tomislav isn't playing for any of those minutes, they're going to struggle down low.
I mean, you talked about this with Michigan too, but like you want to talk about a style of play that gets sloppy and out of control, and some like Illinois over the last couple of years, that is them.
Yeah, but when they're on, they're going to score 100 points.
And also, I have never been less concerned about a team shooting.
Yeah, they'll be fine.
Because every European guy's going to be able to shoot the ball in some capacity.
Andre's smooth as hell, too.
Well, his dad was an amazing three-point shooter, so.
Legend.
Not surprising.
Yeah, they're going to be good. I just think they're going to run into similar issues as last year. KenPom has them at 6. I can see them being very good, especially, like, if things go early on in the season or anywhere to go.
KenPom has them at 6 overall in the country.
6 overall.
Not in the conference.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
that's for them, not for you.
I could see them being that good at some point in the year. Like, if I told you all the Europeans were amazing, the 2 Europeans were amazing. Andre's fully healthy. You know what you get out of Boswell and the Ivicic is like that is a damn good team on paper.
Yeah.
And Brad Underwood is a good coach. I don't know how good they can be. I don't see them being a national title contender. So
I agree. I think I agree with you.
Who
do you have at 5?
Oh, 5 already. There's 18 teams. I have the Oregon Ducks.
Nice. I love that.
I love Oregon. A team that always gets slept on by KenPom the last few years. And people are sleeping on Oregon in general.
I'm maybe the world's biggest Nate Biddle fan.
And I might be the world's biggest Jackson Shellstad fan.
We are.
Jackson Shellstad, Nate Biddle, one of the best duos in the country. It was one of the best duos in the country last year. It's going to be again this year.
Shellstad hurt.
Broke his hand. He should be ready for the beginning of the season. If not, he misses a couple easy games.
I am concerned about a broken hand.
Wait until you learn about who's going to take his spot in the beginning of the season.
Go ahead.
I don't know if you know who he is. They do have Kwame Evans returning also. Don't want to gloss over him. I think he's going to be in his 3rd year. Swing forward, really good defender. People are kind of on his breakout a little bit.
Sure.
They are on that. They were 7th in the Big Ten last year, and they were a 5 seed. So they were good last year in the tournament. A lot of it was because of the players' success in the early on in the season. They went through a really weird cold stretch, but they were good last year. I mentioned it with Purdue. I mentioned it with, who was it before? UCLA.
Yep.
If you're a top 5 team in the conference, you return your 3 best players, arguably, or 2 of your 3 best players, you're probably going to be top 5 again. So that's kind of where I had them, and I think their guys are kind of built for March.
By the way, this is going to be the biggest gap in your rankings from KenPom. This is kind of going back to the early rankings thing. They are number 10 in the conference.
That also speaks to 5 through 13 being.
He has them at 37 overall.
Right,
it's not like it's bad. But.
Yeah. I'll go on with the rest of the roster. Sean Stewart coming in from Ohio State. He was at Duke before that. Wasn't bad. He was I think he's a former 5-star McDonald's All-American. Hopefully there's more potential. TK Simpkins is nice. From Elon, he was their best player last year. He's going to be a senior guard. I'll start with Ece Demir. Ece Demir is a big man from Turkey.
You're smiling about whoever's taking Chelsea's spot.
Ece Demir from big man from Turkey, monster. Rim running force. Absolute beast.
Don't tell Brad Underwood about him.
Good luck, buddy. Have you ever heard of Wei Lin?
Oh, I'm so excited.
Get ready to learn about Wei Lin. Chinese guard, 22 years old, averaged 22 a game last year in China. He's listed at 6'4". W-E-I-L-I-N.
Okay.
Wei Lin, you got to watch him play. Go pull it up with no sound on.
An actor too. So.
No, just type in Oregon.
I mean, he's played professional basketball.
I'm telling you, I don't know the translation. He is cold as fuck. He's nice.
He's played professional basketball.
So what?
I'm not going to get into this. Yeah, the whole professional.
Wei Lin is going to have his chance earlier on, even if Shellstad is playing. They're going to ease him into it a little bit.
I mean, his stats are.
I hope and their team isn't deep at all. It's not deep at all, and I don't like that at all.
No, neither do I.
But that means Wei Lin's going to have to play a lot.
By the way, this was not one of the teams I figured in the top 5, and then small break off. I had them at 6 though.
Okay, I like Oregon. I know that I'm higher than them. I'm higher on Oregon than most people. Yeah. People kind of forget about them. They forgot about them last year. They had a great start to the season. They won Players Era. They got this really weird cold stretch in the middle of the year. Yep. Really, really strange.
They're back. We're going to see them too. They play Auburn, San Diego State.
They had this really weird cold stretch that was so uncharacteristic to them. And if that doesn't happen, they're pushing for like a 3 seed in the tournament.
Yeah.
And realistically, the 5 seed is because of the cold stretch, also because of the early success. But I like Oregon. I think Jackson Shellstat is one of those guards who's like built for March moments.
One of the best 1-2 combos you said in the entire country.
Oh yeah.
Also, bottom 5 basketball court in the country.
They changed it. It's lighter. Actually, it's beautiful now.
Okay.
So
well, they did have
Joke's
a
on
bottom
you.
5 basketball court in the country.
Who my number 6 is? Probably who you meant at number 5, Wisconsin.
No.
Ooh. Well, I could get that.
Ohio State, but you keep going.
Ohio State.
Am I wrong? Everything I read is like.
Oh man, wait! You're gonna wait a long time to talk about them.
That's fine.
Okay.
Go on.
Wisconsin.
Remember, Buckeyes fans, remember I got you.
Sorry.
I got you.
I want to say this about Wisconsin. I don't think their roster is amazing on paper.
Neither do I.
It never is. Greg Gard teams are never good on paper.
Bo Ryan teams also weren't great on paper. It doesn't matter.
I'm just saying they're going to be good no matter what. No matter what you think, Wisconsin's going to be good.
I'm not here to argue about
That's
Wisconsin.
for everyone else then.
Okay, I agree.
No matter what you think, Wisconsin's going to be good.
Better than you think they are.
Always. They're always better than you think. That's the fact. Wisconsin is always better
By
than
the way,
you expect.
number five in the conference on KenPom. 20 overall.
Oh, so me and KenPom are all about it. There
20 overall, yeah.
They did have a lot of seniors last year, along with John Tonji. Like they lost a lot of guys. John Blackwell, they have their clear number 1 returning. They love him there. He is their guy. He is having a chance to be the number 1 player.
Nolan Winter is going to be a pain in the ass.
Dude, every
He's
year,
gonna be a pain
Steven
in the
Crow,
ass.
all these big men they have, they're miserable to play against.
We went to Wisconsin 2 years ago.
Crow was a beast.
No, Winter when he was a freshman was good.
Oh yeah, that's true. I remember.
He's going to be a pain in the ass.
He'll be good. He'll be their big man returning.
Yep.
Nick Boyd coming in from San Diego State. I like him. He's very good. Andrew Rohde, also very good. Austin Rapp shot 8 threes a game last year as a freshman. Love to bring shooting. Wisconsin tends to have a lot of shooters most of the time. After that, it's mostly they have 2 international guys, 2 freshmen, a couple more transfers, and deeper returners. So again, I didn't mention everybody's name because I don't think their roster on paper is great. But like John Blackwell was never a guy that I was like, John Blackwell was that dude until he was last year.
Oh, John Tonji wasn't that dude until he was that dude too.
That's my point. Exactly. John Tonji did nothing before. I think,
it was amazing.
Wherever he was. But I don't think their team on paper is amazing. Again, then I give the Greg Gard Wisconsin boost.
No argument here.
Okay.
I wonder. So I think that after whether the top 5 or 6 or whatever, I think that there's 2 teams in the Big Ten that have very, very, very high upside.
In the top 6?
That would be like probably coming up soon, which is Iowa and Indiana. Who is your number 7 team?
My number 17. Ooh, where did I put it here? My number 7 team is.
You don't seem happy with your own rankings.
I don't know I still don't know where to go with it. I'm going Michigan State.
Okay.
They really on paper don't impress me at all.
You're gonna sit here and doubt Izzo?
No, that's never. I would
literally,
never do that
literally
ever.
Never. I know exactly.
They say like all the months, and then Izzo is March. It's every month. Every month is Izzo's month. It's not. He wins in February and November more than anything. Like,
by the way, if you're curious about their out of conference, Kentucky and Duke again.
It's a crazy out of conference schedule, so they'll be battle tested. But high floor team. It's going to be similar to last year, just like on a different level, dialed back a little bit. Jeremy Fears obviously coming back. Jackson Kohler, Cohen Carr, Carson Cooper all coming back. Cohen Carr's a demon.
Human highlight reel.
I will say this. Yeah, love him. I don't see the massive offensive breakout coming for Cohen Carr, but he doesn't need to do that. That's not who he needs to be, and that's okay. Michigan State fans will be upset with that. That's fine. He's very good. I just don't think the shooting and the offensive leap is going to come the way that people want it to come because he's fun to watch and he's flashy.
They may need Cam Ward to be really good really fast.
They will. Cam Ward, who's a non-shooting forward, is a problem. Jordan Scott, solid wing. Trey Ford is the big one. Shooter that is very, very, very needed.
By the way, these are the 3 freshmen.
Yes. Or no, Trey Ford's a transfer.
Sorry, the other two.
But Trey Ford they need him to be the shooter because they lost Jaden Akins.
He's from...
I forget where he went,
something
actually.
with dog.
Trey Ford. I forget where he went.
Samford.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I was thinking of Mississippi State. I don't know why. The Bulldogs.
Oh, they are dog, too.
Caleb Glenn being out for the year sucks. I think that was their other shooter like they had last year on a team that couldn't shoot. They needed 2 guys to rely on. He was going to be the second one of them, I think.
Yeah.
I don't think it dramatically changes their upside and their team and their quality, but it's not great. It's not ideal. They need Trey Ford to be a sniper for sure. And they need a breakout from someone internal. I think the best candidate is Jackson Kohler. If he can, he reminds me of one of those 2010s dominant college bigs.
Yeah.
That you just he graduates, you never hear from him again.
Inside out, can shoot, can play down low.
Yeah, and he's a freak. And he's a psychopath and a monster. I love Jackson Kohler.
He's great.
I do think he could break out a little bit. I don't see Fears or Cohen Carr and not Carson Cooper going crazy. And then a deep sleeper, Kerr Tang. I watched him play
Okay.
live like 3 or 4 years ago when he was in high school.
You're in your bag on these like really short name guys.
Kurtang is nice.
Yes.
Didn't play a lot last year, really much at all at Michigan State. I think he could be a guard, dynamic offensive scorer to help out off the bench.
So they're your number 7.
Yeah, don't love the team on paper, but I know how high the floor is. I know how tough it is to beat them, and they have Izzo. So
I have a good feeling that the next team is going to be one of those high ceiling teams I talked about.
next team is Indiana.
Okay, I figured it was one of the two.
Indiana is mostly getting knocked as like 10 plus in the conference.
I don't see it.
By
the way,
that's what I see people doing.
Let me make it an admission here. I'm an Indiana hater.
I used to be.
In general.
I'll admit it.
I just am. I think that they have, again, I said it before, but I think they have a really high ceiling, and things can go very right, very fast for
100%.
Darren DeVries.
Yeah. He said something about him and Tucker. He said like, oh, Tucker hasn't been healthy in years. And this, like basically at West Virginia,
That's
that
funny.
they, like, this is what they were kind of waiting for ultimately, which people at West Virginia definitely hate him and them. I understand that. He comes for a year, power jump, and then just bounces.
Yeah, I get it.
But it's Indiana.
I get it.
Let me read to you real fast. They're all their transfers production last year.
Hey, what did you said? Reed
Bailey. Yes,
transfer?
he's one of them.
Reed, you the transfers?
Tucker DeVries and Darian DeVries, the coach. Didn't play last year. He's a coach. Tucker DeVries, 14.9 last year at West Virginia and 22 a game at Drake. Last year, he shot 47% from three. Josh Harris, 13.4 points a game at UNF. Lamar Wilkerson, oh my God, this man is a demon. 20.5 points a game last year, 44% from three at Sam Houston State. That's a joke. That is a sick joke.
And it wasn't on like a 3 a game, by the way.
No, he's insane.
I know.
He's insane. Nick Dorn, 15.2 points per game at Elon. He attempted 8.5 threes a game last year.
You skipped Reed Bailey.
I'm not skipping anybody. He's next on the list. Good God. Reed Bailey, 19-6-4, 41% from three at Davidson.
That's all I'm saying.
He's a monster. Jason Drake, 11 points a game, 39% from three at Drexel. Tayton Connerway, 14 points a game at Troy. Josiah Miles, 15 points a game, 7.5 3-point attempts per game at Northern Florida. Connor Enright, 7.5 points a game. They have Alexa Ristich, a playmaking guard from Serbia, then a freshman, Trent Sisley, coming in. I just read ramble because I had to. There's so many good players.
There's so much talent there.
Shooters.
I have a question for you about this team. DeVries has shown that he can play on the faster side like he did at Drake. He played molasses slow last year at West Virginia. Where do you think this team falls in like a strategic standpoint?
Pump it up. You got to pump it up. They got snipers everywhere.
Yeah.
Their big men can shoot. They have to run the floor, especially in the Big Ten. Teams will not be able to do that in the Big Ten.
I was going to say because most teams can't.
Most teams can't, and if you can get them out of their comfort zone early, then there you go. I don't think defensively they're going to be an amazing team at all. But I don't think it matters.
If you score more than the other team, it doesn't matter.
Their team put up like 300 points a game last year.
I know.
Not that it's that simple, obviously, but they have such good scoring and offensive talent.
You go put up 90 a game in the Big Ten, it's not going to matter.
That's what happens when you got money to spend.
Yeah, I mean, they have a lot to be excited about.
Yeah. I like Indiana this year. It took some internal push to get there, but I like Indiana.
Yeah, I mean,
no, I just like
we'll save that for
not because of that, just because of the team. I was like, oh yeah, no, they weren't. West Virginia wasn't great last year, so they won't be great this year. They should be a tournament team for sure, 100%.
Yeah,
absolutely. What are we on? Number 8, 9?
That was your 8.
There's so many teams. No, that was 8. There's so many teams in this
8.
conference.
Okay.
Number 9, team I considered at 7, Washington.
Oh, I love Danny Sprinkle.
Love Danny Sprinkle. Love Washington.
Yeah.
They do have an injury, which sucks. I'll get to it.
Yeah.
I think that they're kind of being paraded as the fan favorite dark horse in the Big Ten right now because no one hates Washington. Who hates Washington?
No, you can't hate Washington. It's always a tough place to play. It's a smaller arena. But, by the way, I'm noticing a theme here. Internal Big Ten transfers.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well, their best players.
Yeah. Right. Wesley Yates and Desmond Cloud coming from USC. Wesley Yates is a boomerang. I don't know if you knew that.
Yeah, I did know that.
Originally, he was at Washington, didn't play, redshirt.
Yeah, dub to USC, back to UW.
Was great last year, and now he's going to be Washington's probably number 1. Him and Desmond Cloud will be the number 1 and number 2, but I think Wesley Yates is going to take a leap this year for sure. Mm-hmm. Kamari Peterson, player of the year from ETSU. Shout out Brooke Savage in the SoCon. Awesome player, awesome dynamic guard they have. JJ Mandequit, one of my most favorite freshmen in the entire country. Such an elite playmaker. Wesley Yates and the guys are gassing him up already. That 4 guards right there is crazy. And they have Zoom Diallo returning. I forgot. Great backcourt. Fantastic backcourt. Yeah. Let me get to the issue. They have no wings. 0.
Yeah, they have guards and like a couple bigs.
So the bigs,
Kepnang.
Frank Kepnang returning is going to be big.
Ognjenovic,
Shot blocker,
not even really big.
but Frank Kepnang's health has been a concern. Hannes Steinbach, my guy.
It's your other guy.
My guy. That guy, he's gonna be their best big without a doubt.
You've talked more about Washington than I think people realize already on this podcast.
Yes. We did it during FIBA U19s. We were talking a lot about JJ and Hannes.
Yeah.
Hannes Steinbach was great for Germany. Him and Christian Andersen played very well off each other. I think I think that Hannes Steinbach might end up being their best player. I think he's that good.
I'm just really happy that you have Washington. I also like them a bit.
Yeah. The injury, by the way, Jacob Ognjenovic is going to be out until minimum January.
I just mentioned him.
He was a conference player of the year last year also at Lipscomb in the A-Sun who went to the NCAA tournament.
Is that the wing guy they needed?
He was their starting wing or maybe off the bench, but like he was the wing. Now they're going to have to play probably Zoom Diallo on the wing. Desmond Cloud's big, but like defensively, I don't know if he can't defend wings like that. Like they're going to have defensive concerns. They're going to have gaps at times. I still like them enough, and I still like the upside of so many of their players that are untapped.
Okay.
And I like Danny Sprinkle. So I think Washington's a tournament team this year, but I think their range of variability and outcome is high.
Okay. You have them a little bit higher than some of the analytical sites, but they're not terribly low. Okay. So that's your number 9. That is the last team in the top half of the conference for you.
Yeah, and I do have 7 through 14 or 7 through 13, those 7 teams.
Yeah,
you could interchange them anywhere for me.
Okay. So why don't we'll talk about them, but give me 10 and 11 real quick.
Iowa and Maryland.
Okay. Talk about Iowa for me real quick.
Love Bennett Sturts. Love Ben McCollum.
I mean,
they win on every single level. They have Drake guys coming in. They're adding power talent. But they on paper, their roster is probably bottom 3 in the league.
Is there a bigger change in
2 years?
What is it, like approach to the game of basketball than going from Fran McCaffrey
to Ben McCollum?
To Ben McCollum?
No, they play
fast,
slow.
Fast.
So I will say, little sneak peek. Bennett, we did a Will Wade special episode last week. We do have a Bennett Sturts one this week with him.
Thursday.
Yes, Wednesday. Bennett Sturts did confirm with me they will be playing faster than they did at Drake last year. They were last in the country.
I was going to say that's impossible not
They're not going to play the same pace because Ben McCollum adjusts and how he has to. Yeah. He's a great coach. He knows they have to speed it up in the Big Ten. He gets that. But they're going to be good. I just could they be a top 25 team in the country after 4 weeks? Absolutely. I just want to see it. I just want to see it at the power level, and I just want to see it all at Iowa.
The style fits the Big Ten. I'm a little concerned about the roster. But the reason I said they had a high ceiling is because they have McCollum and Bennett Sturts, and who am I to say otherwise?
Let's go on to Maryland.
Okay.
That's my number 11.
Wow, they're my number 1. That's so weird.
You want to talk about them first?
Shall I? Should I put the computer down?
What do you like about Maryland? What do you not like? Honestly, from a fan's point of view, what do you like about Maryland and what do you not like?
I'm going to be as truthful and transparent as I can here.
Fire away.
I have no idea if Maryland's going to be good this year. I'll start by saying that. I think they are this is really a Buzz Williams thing. High floor, lowish ceiling thing.
So you do know how good they're going to be then.
I think that Buzz Williams, on paper, makes no sense to Maryland.
No sense.
He has no ties. He's even said it. He has no ties to the area. He's from Texas. He came from A&M. He coached at a Catholic school. He coached in the middle of nowhere at Va Tech. This is a whole new world to him. That said, he brings a system with him that you kind of know what you're going to get. You're going to get undersized guys who are really tough, who can rebound.
Psychos.
They're going to have problems shooting, but they are never going to be easy to beat. They're going to be a pain in the ass to play, and they're going to win basketball games. That said, I think scoring
it'll be an issue.
Is going to be an issue. There is a chance that he just lets Darius Adams be the guy if he can be. I don't know.
That's going to be a big.
If he can be, Farrell Payne is going to be really good.
Love him.
He's going to be
Big
really
Ten
good.
Guy. Minnesota, year 1.
Not only was he at Minnesota,
he was good too.
I loved him at Minnesota.
He was nice.
Washington's going to play. I love. I'm completely blanking on a name all of a sudden. The Virginia
Saunders.
kid. Yeah, Elijah
Love
Saunders.
Elijah Saunders.
Buzz has spoken him up too.
He's amazing.
Diggy from Kansas is going to be pretty good.
Diggy Coit needs to change the scenery. My concern with Maryland, I have 2 concerns. Miles Rice, Diggy Coit, Watts, Darius Adams.
Miles can score, by the way.
And Darius Adams. Is that going to be enough offense?
Yeah, I don't know.
No, at some point, but is it going to be not enough offense at too low of a point? My other issue with them is that they win dogfights.
Yeah.
That's what the Big Ten is. So does everybody in the Big Ten.
I know
they play Michigan State, it's going to be 42-40, and they're going to lose. And that's how it's going to go.
Yeah.
Because Izzo and the kind of the system in place will outcoach them and outbeat them.
My like overall take, and we can move on here on Maryland, is that it's going to take Buzz a year
It always
to
does.
figure it out.
It always
But
does.
I do think that he will find success pretty fast at Maryland. I am just not sure this year.
They will be solid. They will be a tournament team. I am confident in that. That's why I think.
Do you
so
want to
many
know
teams
who's
are gonna
not
get in the
confident they'll be a
tournament.
tournament team? Buzz Williams.
Well, that's not my problem.
I'm just telling you.
That's not my problem.
Yeah.
I believe in them to be a tournament team. I think they're good enough. I think Miles Rice will be really good this year.
Yeah.
Um,
Offensively is going to be.
It'll just be interesting. It'll just be.
It's going to be their make
yeah.
or break.
Anyways,
I'm really excited to watch Payne
Pharrell Payne's a beast.
throw down on everybody.
Let's do 12 and 13. Then we'll do the bottom.
Okay.
12, I have USC.
Okay.
And 13, I'll have Ohio State.
I figured you had Ohio State.
So
13.
12, USC, on paper, a lot of talent, a lot of great players, top transfer class, like it was last year for them, and things didn't go well.
Yeah.
That being said, this is year 2 from us. Coaches tend to turn it around in
We
year
just talked
2.
about that, yeah.
But their one returner is Terrence Williams, who played like 7 or 8 games
Their best
last year.
freshman is.
He had a well, no, but their only returner
Yeah.
played 7 games last year, had a wrist injury, missed the rest of the season.
Yeah.
He is solid, Terrence Williams. Rodney Rice, Chad Baker-Mazara are going to be their 2 better players in the guards for sure.
Is Rodney on here somewhere?
I actually think that Rodney Rice, there's untapped ceiling
There
for
it
Rodney
is.
Rice.
Me too.
I think that Rodney could actually be much better than people ever thought he could.
He was awesome last year.
So good.
He was awesome.
So clutch, such a good shooter, such a smooth scorer. I think if there's playmaking chops to him, that'd be great. Chad Baker-Mazara is more the defender and the playmaker, which is good.
And in the Muss offense, Rice is going to have the green light.
So many shots.
Yeah.
Chad Baker-Mazara also better than people give him credit for as a
He's
basketball
like
player.
37 years old.
26.
so-
Those are their guards. Elijah Arenas would have been great to have as like a true number 1 if he was going to be that good. They say he might be able to come back in January, February. They'll reevaluate him. I don't think he's going to play this year, but I don't have a crystal ball either. So let's say without Elijah, run through the rest of the transfers. Jordan Marsh, who I actually like a lot from Asheville. Jacob Kofi, I really, really like. He is an absolute monster, one of the best defenders in the country, in my opinion, and he will have a breakout season this year in some capacity. But beyond those 2, like you get Dines from Youngstown State, the 7'3" kid, Amarian Dickerson, who played in the tournament last year at Robert Morris, and he's solid. Like, what jumps off the page?
Yeah. You didn't talk about Elijah Arenas yet, did you?
I did.
Okay. Sorry, I missed that.
You it's okay.
I was looking at the schedule for a second because they play nobody.
Nobody.
Boise State. That's it.
But they're gonna lose one of those two games earlier on somehow.
There's no.
It's gonna happen.
They don't. I don't even
All right,
know who
but
they would
so
lose to.
if they go
Yeah.
undefeated, they'll be a top 25 team, and then they'll get their ass
Yeah,
kicked
yeah,
in a random Big Ten game.
I'm concerned about them.
Yeah.
And I
I want them
think
to be
Muss is a great coach. I think it's a good fit.
the energy they need for sure.
I know.
I want it to work. I think that this team, it could work with this team at USC this year. I don't see that working. Like Michael Musselman told me, his son is on staff. He said, man, like the Elijah injury we were talking about, it sucks. Like if he was healthy, like we would have feel so much more confident about being like top 25, Final Four team, whatever. They're still confident. He made sure to reassure that, but it's obvious. Like that was a huge planning piece of theirs, having young, dynamic offensive talent like that. So it sucks not to have that. But that being said, like I said, from 7 to 13, Michigan State down to Ohio State, and they're in this mix. They could finish anywhere.
Yeah.
Anywhere. So
I agree with you. By the way, so I know we're about to move on to Ohio State.
Yeah.
The reason I thought that you were going to have them high is just in a vacuum, I think they're 5 on Torvik, 4 or 5 on Evan. Is it Maya or Mia? I'm sorry.
Maya,
I'm sorry.
in the conference.
Sorry, Evan. Yeah, in the conference. And I think they're like 8 or 9 on KenPom. Bruce Thornton is a fucking dog.
Oh, Ohio State you're talking about now.
Yeah, Ohio
Sorry, I
State.
thought you were USC. I'm
sorry,
like, what?
we moved on. Okay.
So
I am surprised you have them all the way down at 13. That said, we have one of the same big concerns. I already know it.
Well, first of all, their trio they return is amazing.
It's unbelievable.
Bruce Thornton, John Mobley, and Devin Royal.
Well, and by the way, that's why I actually may have them at 6 or 7 and
it's
not 5.
kind of like the Purdue, the UCLA, and whoever else I mentioned if it has it. Like, you return players, you should be better than last year. But that's the issue, is that last year was so frustrating for them.
Yeah, I know.
First of all, let me say that John Mobley, people think I'm an Ohio State hater. They weren't good last year. Like, I'm not hating on them. They just weren't good last year, so they were mad at me last season. John Mobley's one of the most enjoyable players to watch in the country. He is a dynamite stick.
Yeah, he's
awesome. Great. Love him. Great trio who averaged like 45 points a game last year together. That's awesome. They bring in some solid bigs like mid-major guys, Chris Tilley, Brandon Noel, and Josh Ojimuna from Baylor, who I know is not mid-major, obviously. Their depth is not great.
I think Cubs could use a change of scenery, but I hear you.
Gabe Cupps is making a lot of TikToks lately.
Oh, no.
A lot of TikToks.
Okay, well.
Like, very, very, whatever. Go off, King.
He was the one who did it last year, too, before the Indiana season, right?
Yeah, and I don't think this was the right move, but maybe he'll get some minutes. That being said, like I said, I don't think their roster I don't think their team is astronomically better than it was last year.
And our biggest concern is?
What were you going to say? Jake Diebler?
Yes.
Okay. I was going to say, that being said, but no, there's devil's advocate to this. That being said, 11 of their 15 losses last year were by single digits.
Mm-hmm.
I want to go to a specific point of the year for you real fast, if that's okay with you.
By all means.
So it was started on January 3rd for them. So they are 9-4 on after Christmas, right after Christmas, the New Year. Sorry, after the New Year, they're 9-4. They just beat Kentucky recently. I remember that very vividly, and I was like, oh my! And they beat them by 20 in the Garden. I was there. I was like, wow! Like Kentucky looked like garbage, but Ohio State kicked the shit out of them. Good for Ohio State. They're feeling good. Whatever. Then they go Friday, January 3rd. They lose to Michigan State by 7. They go to Minnesota. They win by 1 in double overtime. And then 3 days later, they're playing home against Oregon. They lose by 2.
Yeah, wow.
And then 5 days after that, they're away at Wisconsin. They lose by 2. And then 3 days after that, they lose to Indiana by 1 at home in overtime.
I bet you in there, by the way, they banked in a Maryland buzzer beater because Thornton did that against us.
No, that was later in the year.
Okay.
So they had one win, the Minnesota win, but it was a double overtime game away.
Crazy.
The Big Ten schedule was not friendly to them. They got they got screwed. It sucked. I feel like that 5-game stretch ruined the season for Ohio State last year, and maybe that's clouding my judgment on them this year, but they have an inability to win close games. It happened the entire year. They can't close out games. Jake Diebler doesn't adjust enough. I don't know if he's the right guy or not for them. It was a weird interim hire that turned to a head coaching job. The Ohio State roster is good. Their returning trio is awesome.
Yeah.
Their guards are really good. They're not better than last year, so why should they be better?
I'm a believer in the law of averages and regression to the mean. They're going to win more close games this year than they did last year. And they returned too many minutes for me to not think that they're going to be a top 10 team in the conference.
Last year, they were 334th in luck on KenPom. So
okay, but that's a thing.
But because they're supposed to win these games, and then things like coaching get in the way and things like mishaps. That's my belief. Okay. I think Ohio State, if
that's our biggest gap.
If Ohio State finished top 5 or 6 in the conference, it wouldn't really surprise me that
Thornton's
much.
A dog,
He's
man.
good. King of the mid-range. King of the mid-range.
Okay.
And John Mobley, demon.
We could go on for this conference for about 3 hours. Rattle me through
let me
rest
do the
and then
bottom.
we'll do the player stuff.
Northwestern, Nebraska, Minnesota, Rutgers, Penn State. I don't see any of the 5 of those teams doing anything except
Nick Martinelli
for Northwestern because Nick Martinelli is awesome, and they will beat Purdue one time. So,
dude, they
will be Purdue
have
once.
their number. Nick Martinelli,
he will
as
have
a Big
40
Ten
in that
fan,
game.
was one of my favorite players to watch last year.
Derek Queen said that he was one of the hardest players he's ever played against. Derek Queen, a lottery pick, says that. Then
he's on my shirt too.
There you go.
I think.
Northwestern.
I think there's a non-zero chance.
Nebraska.
Non-zero chance. This is Steve Pikiell's last year at Rutgers.
So you think it is his?
It's a non-zero chance. It could be his last year.
Okay. Oh, sorry. Okay. We'll see how it goes.
Yep.
Rutgers team is not good.
And last year, yeah.
I'm not going to talk a lot about these teams. I do like Nico Medved, Minnesota. Their team is not going to be good, though.
Nico Medved. I am obsessed with Nico Medved.
He'll get it right there. It'll take time, though. It'll take time for sure. But that's my bottom rankings.
Yep.
Let me go through my entire ranking again real fast.
Real quick.
Because there's 18. I was going to cuss teams. Don't need to cuss all the time. It's fine. Big Ten rankings. Here we go. Number 1, Purdue. Number 2, Michigan. Number 3, UCLA. Number 4, Illinois. Oregon and Wisconsin at 5 and 6. Michigan State at 7. Indiana, Washington, Iowa at 8, 9, 10. 11, Maryland. 12, USC. 13, Ohio State. Then I have my drop off. That was 13, I said, right?
Yes.
Northwestern and Nebraska at 14 and 15. Minnesota, Rutgers, Penn State at 16, 17, 18. There are too many teams in this conference.
Woo! Based on that, by the way, you have 11 teams making it because you made a pretty clear statement that Maryland will make the tournament, and you have them in 11.
They should make the tournament. Did I say will?
You said will.
Well, oopsies. There you go. There's my rankings.
Loaded. What a conference. Talking about loaded, where do you even start on the teams here?
So first of all, the Big Ten does 10 teams for each all-conference team because 10 players.
10 players.
Sorry. They do 10 players
Yeah.
for each all-conference team because they have 18 teams, and it's a
Yeah.
way for voters to get the easy way out. We are not doing that here.
No,
five players per all-conference team.
By the way, let's just
BS.
really quick. Picking 15 players out of the Big Ten is
Impossible.
an impossible task. Impossible
The
task.
first 5 were easy.
Go. Let it rip.
Braden Smith,
Wow.
Yaxel Lendenborg, Bennett Sturtz, Donovan Dent, Trey Kaufman-Wren. Those 5 should be All-Americans.
You scared? You didn't say TKR until the end. I was scared for a second.
They should. Well, he was whatever. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Is it alphabetical order? It's not.
Yeah,
It's not.
I don't think anyone's gonna debate you there.
Those should all be All-Americans this year.
Did you give any thought to anybody else on the first team?
For like 2 seconds.
Okay, and who was that person?
A couple of guys, but because I felt like I was missing someone, and then I
Yeah.
forgot about TKR because I
Yeah.
went team by team and picked their best player out at first.
And yeah.
And then I was like, oh wait, TKR, and then I moved everyone down.
Yeah.
Second team All Conference, Nick Martinelli carrying Northwestern on his back.
Yep.
Jackson Shellstad and Nate Biddle at
Yep.
Oregon, John Blackwell at Wisconsin, and Bruce Thornton at Ohio State.
Yep.
Third team All Conference, Tucker DeVries and Lamar Wilkerson at Indiana. Tomislav,
Wow, Lamar Wilkerson.
Amazing.
I love him too.
Love him.
I love that you have him there.
Tomislav Ivicic at Illinois.
Yep.
This is where I was like, I have no idea where to go with this now.
2 guys
Zero
left,
idea.
right?
I have 2 guys left. I considered even guys like Jackson Kohler because someone from Michigan State's probably going to be on here. I also think someone from Washington or USC could be on here. I went with Jacob Kofi at USC. I think he's that good. I think offensively the numbers aren't going to be like unbelievable, but he's kind of like JoJo Tugler is for Houston, but I think he has a better offensive game.
Okay.
And I think he could be the defensive player of the year this year. If he was, he'd definitely be all-conference. So Jacob Kofi is on my all-conference team. And then I went with Wesley Yates out of Washington for my last guy. I think he could have a big year on the boomerang transfer back. I considered Kylan Boswell. I considered Rodney Rice, Jackson Kohler, Hannes Steinbach. So I went with Wesley
I could
Yates.
see if Rodney really does get the green light, his stats are going to be exorbitant this year.
Yeah, I have Jacob Kofi at USC on there.
Okay.
Put a USC guy on there.
Okay. I mean, that's a crazy list.
Tough list.
I'm going to start with the 2 awards that I think are going to be the easiest for you to name.
Fire away.
Player of the Year, Coach of the Year.
Player of the year will be Braden Smith. 100%. Could it be Yaxel? Could it be Sturtz if things go over Iowa? Could it be Donovan Dent? Absolutely.
Could be TKR too, probably.
I don't know about that.
Anyway.
I think voters would never, no matter what the stats look like.
Okay.
Braden Smith will likely win the award. It's not like it's 100% going to happen, though.
Sure.
100%.
And Coach of the Year?
Coach of the year, I went with the easy choice of Matt Painter.
I think it's easy, yeah.
Because after Purdue, I actually think that it's going to be like 2 through 13.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it could be.
And because of that, the quality gap of what Purdue should be, Matt Painter wins the award.
Yeah, I'm with that there. Okay. So defensive player, newcomer,
these
and
are hard.
freshman, right?
These are so tough.
Okay, so I mean, picking a defensive player of the year is impossible. But what do you got?
I considered 3 guys for the most part. Yaxel Lendenborg, who does everything, steals, blocks, defensive boards, everything. Kylan Boswell, and then Jacob Kofi.
Okay.
I picked Jacob Kofi. I mentioned him before. Jacob Kofi would need a leap to win Defensive Player of the Year, but for a team that relies on offense and he'll be the defensive rock, and him being so young and so rawly talented, I could see him winning this award. I think really it was him or Yaxel for me.
Yeah. It's funny. This is a year in the Big Ten where, like, a lot of times under the radar guys win defensive. Like, Darryl Morcell won Defensive Player of the Year.
This
that
was
is not
tough.
happening this
There's
year.
no Kobe Johnson. Like, this was really tough for me. I went around. I was like, I don't see, like,
Do you have Yaxel as your newcomer of the year as well?
I have Yaxel as my newcomer of the year. Kofi as the Defensive Player of the Year.
Okay.
Yaxel as
you have Kofi as defensive player. Okay.
Yes. I have Yaxel Lendenborg as newcomer of the year, but between Yaxel, Bennett Sturtz.
You named 3 of them in the first team.
Right. Yaxel Lendenborg, Bennett Sturtz, Donovan Dent. One of like those 3. Honestly, let's do co-newcomer of the year. I don't care. My
Yaxel
awards.
and Dent. I love Michigan, but
They're
I
so good.
love Donovan Dent. And what's not to love?
He's probably one of the most enjoyable
Okay.
players to watch.
Okay.
Like I mentioned, John
Freshman of the
Mobley.
year could be really fun in this conference.
Could be anybody.
This is probably the biggest toss-up of anything we've talked about.
Darius Adams was under consideration. He did not win. Caden Mingo at Penn State.
Thank you for considering, by the way.
You're welcome. Caden Mingo at Penn State.
Okay.
Considered they're going to be bad.
Yes.
He might win. I went with Hannes Steinbach at Washington. I mentioned it before. I think he could end up being Washington's best player. Even if he's not, I think freshman of the year is not a stretch at all.
Do you think Trey McKinney doesn't get enough run?
Yeah, I think Michigan's deep and they don't rely on him enough because they need shooting more than anything.
Because he's probably
He
the
is very
quote-unquote
good.
best freshman in the conference.
Sure, and probably by the rankings he is. Although
By the
Hannes
rankings, he is.
Hannes is also international, so it's
Okay.
different. But
All right, I have one Q&A to end on because we have taken up a lot of time here.
Yeah.
This is from Sam Copeland on Instagram. His question is, which program takes the biggest leap and biggest step back in the Big Ten?
What a question. Wow, what a question.
Oh, yeah, you don't know this question, by the way.
Biggest leap, I would say Washington.
Okay.
Because they were like bottom of the barrel Big Ten, and they're not even a Big Ten team realistically. So Washington takes the biggest leap. And then biggest dip, you said, right?
Yeah, not Rutgers because they finished poorly last year.
Well, obviously. Right, but even still.
I'm just saying roster-wise.
It's that low.
Yeah.
Nebraska wasn't great last year, but they were probably somewhere in the middle, I assume. This is tough.
Based on your rankings,
How
is the answer Ohio State?
How high was Maryland last year?
I don't know the answer.
They're high. Ohio State was low last year. They couldn't win games.
Well, I mean, Maryland lost 4 buzzer beaters themselves, so I'm not going to sit here and...
My answer is going to be Maryland because Maryland last year... What they finished last year?
Second.
Oh, it's definitely Maryland. It's definitely Maryland.
I guess just based on math, that has to be your answer.
But not even just that. I didn't even know that. Maryland.
Rutgers, by the way, finished better than I thought.
Maryland last year was seen as a dark horse title contender at one point.
Let's just show
Crab 5, baby. They are not going to be anywhere near that upside.
When are we doing the Big East preview, by the way?
Not sure.
Okay, I have Villanova last.
Okay. We're going to do Big 12 next.
Big 12.
That is going to wrap it up for us.
That's on Monday, right? Next Monday.
Monday, yeah. So that's going to wrap it up for this episode. Genuinely, if you're still here now, I actually love you. And I might text me and I'll Venmo you $5, the word cookies. DM me cookies, I'll Venmo you, okay?
Wow.
To 5 people only, capped. I will Venmo you $5, coffee on me for the morning. Because sometimes you never know how many people listen to the end. So thanks for listening. I appreciate you all. This Wednesday, Bennett Sturts special episode. Shout out to Bennett Sturts and good people at Iowa. Hope you guys enjoy that. And then next week, I'm going to decide right now. We're going to do pick number 1 through 3.
2.
Big 12. It was going to be Big 12 no matter what. Okay. We're going to do Big 12 conference preview a week from the episode releasing today on Monday. That'll be Monday, October 20th. Look out for the Big 12. Again, like, subscribe, follow the pages. Have a great week. Appreciate you.
Terps.
Loser.